One of my girlfriends bought them and gave me a bag of them. A bag of them. Something. They're not spicy, but they got some look like seasoning and stuff on it. But they're crunchy like that. They break up easily. Perfect. That's perfect for you. Where you get these from? Trader Joe's?
Yes, and they sell them at Safeway too.
Oh yeah.
Safeway has a different kind of brand.
Nice.
So,
check.
I
think we all ready now.
Yep.
All right.
Is this your,
You can do
yeah,
this.
that's one I was working on.
Huh?
So.
I can do it?
Yes.
Thank you for the confidence.
So do you want me to go back to the beginning, or is that right? That's the beginning right here of it. Read to correct the record Declaration of Nationality.
Yep.
Okay.
Kente have
Okay.
a
Sit down,
seat.
Kente.
So we're going to read this out loud.
Okay. Yeah.
Writ to correct the record Declaration of Nationality. To
Don't
all
put that in
elected
the air.
United States public officials and public servants of federal, state, city, and municipal governments, personnel, and corporate entities concerning the Constitution and all statutory and civil law codes of the land, etc., nor all men by these presents. I am Freedom L. Bay, being duly affirmed, standing squarely, declare and proclaim upon divine law, nature's law, universal law, Moorish birthrights, international law, and constitutional law, declare and say, I, being previously identified by the Union State Society of North America, UWQ, that's not for
That's not what we're supposed to say.
UWQ. No, I'm not familiar with UWQ. I don't know what that means. I think maybe that should say USA.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe I should say USA. The U.S.A. Look at that, already 22 people in the chat.
Oh, is it?
Peace,
Where
y'all,
that baby
peace.
go?
Hey, I should pull out your Declaration of Nationality and read along.
Maybe this is the right one.
What is this?
Yeah, because it says Jamila Imani Asha L. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, that's the
Okay, is that the proper one?
Kente.
Yeah, because I got the whole name in there. At first, I didn't know. Yeah, I put also known as Freedom in this one.
Stop putting the ball in front of that.
Yes.
Please. Thank you.
Okay, so does it say USA? Where's that at? Did you read that part already? Where is it at?
Yeah, this is definitely the more updated joint. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you want me to start from the top?
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks more up to date. Yeah, all right. I am Jamila Imani Asha'il, also known as Freedom, being duly affirmed, standing squarely, declare and proclaim upon divine law, nature's law, universal law, Moorish birthrights, international law, and constitutional law, proclaim for the record non-pro-tum, which means now for them. I, Jamila, am I saying it right? Jamila,
Yes.
Jamila Imani Asha'il, also known as Freedom, hereby declare my intention.
Sit down.
Watch out, Kente. To be a national, but not a citizen of the United States. I, being previously identified by the noble religious title, Jamila Imani. Now, okay, so this part we got to change here.
What?
Right, because you're going from your previous straw name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's what we'll go
That's
with.
the Vivian guy?
Yeah, so, because, I'm always making edits to these documents.
Yeah.
So, what you got to do on that part is I, being previously identified by the Union States Society as, and then you put your straw name in all caps.
And take out by the noble?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now all that stuff I added in there. Because I was doing I corrected my name again, but I already had my declaration on the record.
And underline it and bold it?
Yeah, bold it, yeah. Making it all caps. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Check him out.
yeah,
Does he know what's up?
I thought he wasn't saying anything like that.
No.
But you see how natural it was for me to write it like that?
Yeah.
Well, because naturally we don't write our name in all caps. Naturally, it's weird. Oh, also, put the Can you insert the trademark and copyright logo next to the Vivian Gale? Because it is.
What would that be? My logo?
Are you a Microsoft Word?
Yeah.
Okay, go to symbol.
Where am I going to put it at first of all?
Oh, you're gonna put it right next to the Vivian Gale.
Oh, the copyright thing, you mean?
Yeah.
The trademark.
Copyright and trademark.
Okay. Copyright.
And then the trademark.
How you do that?
Wait, did you just do the copyright manually?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know how to do that manually.
Yeah, put another parenthesis.
Well, I know the trademark is in symbols.
Okay.
If you go into symbols.
Insert symbol. Yeah. I was looking at my keyboard, but I know it's not up there. Insert a symbol. Insert a symbol. Will it say like a T? I don't know what the T looks like.
Trademark, it looks like a TM.
Okay. Oh, okay. Tell me when you see it. I'm going to be looking at my computer.
Right there. See? Go to this third row here. No, go down. Go down. Go down. Go down. Now move to the left. Start moving to the left.
Okay.
There you go.
What's that?
I wonder if it will put a circle around it.
It shouldn't. Let me see.
Okay, there it is.
Perfect.
Why do I want to trademark that name?
No. It's not that you're trademarking it.
It already is.
It's a company.
Okay. Oh.
It's a company. So you want to establish openly and very clearly that this is a company. And you were identifying me.
Okay.
You were identifying me as a company. Unbeknownst to me. Can you just change? Can you put the copyright symbol at the end?
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, this is a company, and until we claim our estate, then we've abandoned it, and they get to use it because we're in dishonor. So, okay. Could you make it a little bit bigger?
Hey, Randy, are you looking at what you're doing?
Are you waiting?
Should I do it? Mommy got toy toys. I always pack your toy toys in. Never play with them.
Okay. I, being previously identified as Vivian Gale, add to my title. You should say declare my title.
Instead of add to?
Yeah, instead of the add to, say declare.
Excuse me. Do you have paper?
Mm-hmm.
Mommy
Just
does.
a second.
Oh, you're gonna bring your crayons. I didn't even think.
Declare my title. Okay.
Come. Sit down. If you
You can put noble before that. Declare my noble title. No.
Although I'm going to put it Jamila.
Declare my title, make public and publish.
Here you go.
Oh, look it. I don't have no colors. I forgot your crayons. I didn't even think.
Got some crayons.
You got some friends around here.
Yeah. I swear I gotta get them now. That's helping me write down, pack a on the go bag. Have crayons that only stay in one bag, so when we travel. Oh, we got
I
some.
thought they were in there.
Come here, babe. Yes. Where's your paper? Miss Freedom just gave you paper. Move your little butt away from that. Come. We gotta remember. That's what we always forget. We got colored books. We gotta put them in a bag. Sit right here. I got more paper for you. Good. She can't go anywhere in there either.
Okay.
Ooh, I love your area. It's like kind of kid-proof. Like it's so open that there's nothing for them to mess with.
It's open space.
I love it.
Okay.
Oh, you got a selfie stick. Look at you. She got
here.
all of the
I'll
things.
tell you what. You want to man this for me?
I'm about to go to the bathroom. How do I turn the camera? I can turn it around first from now.
Yeah. Okay. I, being previously identified as Vivian Gale, trademark copyright, declare my ancient Moorish ancestry and
Well,
make
I got a
public
big
and publish
store.
my indigenous title of nobility. Declare and affirm my true proper person status as a non-immigrant alien. That is affirmed by United States Code Title 8, Section 1101A, 15A1, in parentheses, and 15E. And reclaim my rightful social and cultural life of my state in accord with my ancestral Moorish empire of northwestern Mexico, North America, acknowledging my birthrights, having lawfully and legally acknowledging my true national descent in harmony with, in association with, and in accord with divine law, the customs and the laws, rules, and usages of the Zodiac Constitution, being Aboriginal and Indigenous.
Now, the reason why I have that highlighted is because I read it and I didn't really know what that meant for me, that I'm saying.
Okay. So pretty much what you're stating right now is the fact that you're openly and voluntarily acknowledging everything that you're stating in this document.
Let me say, I want my paperwork to say that I'm a Moor, but I don't want to see religion. Like, I don't want to be Islam. You know, I don't want to be under any religion.
So just keep it simple. Keep it simple.
Okay, so do I keep that in there then? Even so, is that okay? Like,
Now, see, now that's what I mean by keeping simple. The mere fact you're asking me, should you keep it in there or should you not, you're making it complicated. You already know what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it simple.
So do I just take that whole paragraph out?
Don't ask me, do I? Do you just take that paragraph out? Because this is your document. What do you want it to say? What I'm saying is, I can't confirm for you what you want to say.
I want mine to be like, I'm under the laws of nature, which I know that you guys agree with. And as far as that is concerned, under the Creator, heaven, Yahushua, but not under any religion.
Okay. Now, I understand what you're saying in terms of dogma religion, but now dealing with law, religion is dealing with trust.
Okay.
So in law, religion means a deed of trust. A lot of people don't know that.
No, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, I mean, if you got a black sword, we can pull it up right now too.
I have it on my computer.
That took me for a whirly, I'll tell you that much. But this is what they mean when they say 3/5 human being. We're missing nationality and religion, meaning nationality and trust. Nationality to have standing in law, and then your trust so you can buy and sell and do those things you need to do in order to sustain yourself.
Okay, so where am I going here?
Religion.
Just type it in? Religion?
Yeah.
Okay. See, the selfie stick comes in handy. It's got a stick in my leg.
I'll tell you, I'm gonna have to get me one myself.
I think I got this at Walmart. Yeah, I think I got one. Hey, where'd everybody go?
But yeah, essentially, like I said, to just keep it simple, basic thing is just show acknowledging the fact you're acknowledging your ancestors. You're acknowledging who you are and your culture and where you come from here. And then also just understanding the treaty. When you really look at the treaty has nothing to do with anyone's religion or what they, or what they, vibrate with in particular. It's really more so about whatever that person's standards are, you got to respect them.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to trading and doing business. You want to make sure that everyone's respected no matter what their so-called religion, or I like just call it way of life. Whatever their way of life might be.
Oh, it's still searching.
Is it searching?
Yeah. It's on 12/13/1956. Okay.
You want the Zoom too?
Huh?
You can Zoom.
What, you want to be close?
No. I was looking at the screen. Is it still loading?
Yes. Oh, I didn't know you could do that with a video. I didn't know you could zoom out and make that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it bigger.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so they didn't find anything.
Alright, I'm about to pull it up myself. You can go back to the document.
Am I spelling religion right? RELIGION.
Yeah.
This is,
No, come
I
on.
think it's the 4th edition. Yeah, it's the 4th edition, so it should pretty much, it should be in there. What other word would it be in that section? Religion?
Stop. Why are you intrigued with power chords?
I made up mine already.
It's fabulous.
I did not.
I'm glad that you over there
I
liking
found it. So it
coloring.
came up, I think I didn't think it was doing anything, so I kept typing, and so I probably messed it up. Okay, so here's one on page 58 for studying and praying. For the
No, that's not the word.
Okay, so then I go to the next one.
That's like a word in the definition of a word, but that's not religion.
Well, it will tell you the first part, the first one, then we'll go to the next one. Okay, now I have the tax and impost levy annual in Scotland for the maintenance of
Nah, like, because you see you're in A. Yeah, we need to go to R for religion. Yeah, like religion is in the definition.
Also,
You have to sit down and be quiet or keep coloring. If you want to be done, come back over here quietly, baby.
no, I'm just in B. How do I tell this to go to R?
I don't know, but I found it on the phone. So.
Okay. What do you got under?
Religion.
What is religion?
No,
Okay.
like literally, look up the word religion.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, in the dictionary. And when you look up religion, it says plied with the terms of the deed of trust.
Okay. Say that again.
When you look up religion in Black's Law Dictionary, it says plied with the terms of the deed of trust.
What? I don't hear that before.
I know, because they just talk about the dogma aspects of religion.
Okay, so is that the only definition?
No, we're talking about definition by law, right? Because there's two types of words. You got your words, you got your meanings for words in law, and then you got your, words that people just go by on a daily basis. When we're talking about law is very specific, so you got to know exactly what the words mean. When applying it to law. Come here, sit on my lap. Come.
No, say there's no information.
Come.
Oh, you're not connected to the internet.
That's not the internet.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, now put that in layman's terms as far as religion. So when I'm saying I don't want to be part of a religion,
You're talking about dogma. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and I know because I don't want to be part of it.
Yeah, but we want to be right in law. So in law, everyone has a trust, aka religion. You just got to understand. But they're not going to outrightly just say, "Oh, this means that and this means this." So when we're talking, we mean this. We mean this context. When they're talking, we know they mean. They're not going to let you know that. They're going to make you think. Go in that cycle of confusion and not really have much clarity in terms of how they're moving. But everyone has a religion. They even abuse children in the name of their religions or their trust, and that's how they have so-called protections. And nothing happens to these people.
No, I think after here it said, and I think it also said the Circle 7, and I took that out because I didn't want to be a part of the religion. So
That's fine.
Okay.
Like I said, just tie yourself to the treaty and you'll be fine.
To the what?
The treaty.
The treaty? Okay.
Are you familiar with the Treaty of Peace and Friendship?
Yeah, we read that before. I have it in my pink book.
Okay.
It's like one page. It's really short.
What, the treaty? 25 articles. Yeah, so, I would put, rather than Zodiac Constitution, you could put the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. No, girl. Don't play with that.
And the treaty. It might be in there already somewhere else. TFPC.
What are you looking for?
Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Where you at, me? Where you going? Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Right. Okay, you can go ahead.
I, being previously identified by Vivian Gale, trademark copyrighted, declare my ancient Moorish ancestry, make public and publish my indigenous title of nobility, declare and affirm my true proper person status as a non-immigrant alien that is affirmed by United States Code Title 8, Section 1101A, 15A1, and 15E. 15A1 is dealing with the fact you're national, but of a government that's foreign to the United States. And 15E is dealing with the fact that you have a treaty of commerce and amity in place that entitles you the right to do commerce in the United States without any type of resistance. You're entitled to that.
And so if somebody just types that in Google, will they put that up?
What?
What you're saying?
Yeah, that's why I wrote it out exactly like that. That's exactly how it is in the United States Code, Title 8. And Title 8 is dealing with aliens and nationality. And reclaim my rightful social and cultural life of my state, meaning you're going back to the ancient ways and thoughts and patterns of your ancestors and how they used to live. And you're going to bring that back into this modern day and age and live that out in this time. In accord with my ancestral Moorish Empire of Northwest Mexum, North America, acknowledging my birthrights, having lawfully and legally acknowledging my true national descent. Now, lawfully meaning, you know it within yourself. Legally, you published it on the public record. Okay? Acknowledging my true national descent in harmony with, in association with, and in accord with divine law, the customs and the laws, rules, and usages of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. So, if you want, yeah, okay, that's fine. Treaty of Peace and Friendship, being Aboriginal and Indigenous and bound to the North American continent by heritage, by primogeniture. Primogeniture means genes coming from the mom.
Okay.
All right. Primogeniture by birth, by natural birth, by freehold. Freehold meaning without any liens or debts.
Okay.
All right. And by inheritance, declared for the public record, I am returning the European cognomen and fictitious misnomer back to the colonial possessors of its pedigree, meaning you're rendering back onto Caesar's what Caesar's. I am now rightfully declaring, publishing, and proclaiming. She going over there. Rightfully, where we at? Declare for the public record, I am returning the European cognomen and fictitious misnomer back to the colonial possessors of its pedigree. I am now rightfully declaring, publishing, and proclaiming my own free national name, affirming my actual, rightful, and civil in full life status. Because, as Black and African Americans, we're considered civil little mortus. We're dead in the eyes of the law. That's civil litter mortus. Meaning we're dead in the eyes of the law.
First of all, civil and litter. Litter is like garbage.
What? I mean,
it's like what I think of when a cat goes.
It's Bonnie.
Oh, like
Yeah, like civil litter, like garbage.
We could look up litter.
Well, that word is not in here, right? So that's something. That
that'll definitely be in Black's law.
Okay.
That's a legal term. Civil litter. Well, I'll say a legal Latin term, which means, like I said, dead in the eyes of the law. So all people who classify as colors or misnomer themselves as Black or African American, they're considered dead in the eyes of the law. And you'll find this in the Black's Law Dictionary too, on the definition of colored persons. There is no legal technical significance that the judges of any court are bound to know in reference to colored persons. So that means if they were to recognize colored peoples in court, they would lose their jobs.
What?
They're bound not to recognize people who classify themselves as colored. So this is why all these travesties happen, and it doesn't
No. Oh my gosh, she scared me. She's got a color book. Okay. I'm making sure it was an important document.
Huh?
So when a colored person shows up for a case, so they're just going through the motions, pretty much?
Yeah, it's colorable. They're already subject. So they're pretty much, like I said, how can your child get shot and then the court tells you it ain't going to the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
So that lets you know who's in charge. And a lot of these families take pay cuts to be, to like, I call it hush money, to stop pressing or stop making public issues as such. But yeah, civil little mortus is where we're at. Oh, what, did you try to look it up or something?
Yeah,
CI. Yeah. Is it because this thing is so big, it's just running slow?
You mean the document?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. CI.
VIL. LITER. MORTUS.
Don't dare.
Kente. If you want a color, bring the color. Look over here.
Oh, and the words aren't all together either.
Oh.
I don't think I put them in here. Should I have?
That's the baby.
I think it might be the computer, because normally when I look it up on Google, I find them pretty fast.
Well, I don't know. It keeps saying my computer's offline, so I don't know if it needs the internet to search.
It might. So it's probably better to just leave this alone.
Is your computer online?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you could just explain it. I trust you. We could look it up later if I see it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Civil little mortus.
okay.
So where are we at?
Oh, I gotta get rid of this stuff.
Oh.
Right. So the opposite of civil little mortus is in full life.
Okay.
In full life meaning you're not physically dead, but you're not dead in the eyes of the law either.
Okay, so we're right here, right? We're right here, see?
In full life, yeah.
Okay.
In full life status. Conjoined to my descent, to my ancient Moorish consanguine pedigree. Consanguine meaning blood. And natural honor. Let it be declared, known, published, and resolved that I am Jamila Imani Asha'il, also known as Freedom, in propria persona sum juris, being in my own proper person, by birthright and inheritance, without the foreign imposed color of law or assumed due process of the Union State Society, pursuant to, but not limited to.
Okay,
You have
question.
a question?
Yes.
Yeah. Go back to that one, the last one. Instead of freedom got to be capital, there has to be baby in jail.
This is my new name, so.
What? Also known as Freedom?
Freedom. Does that have to be baby in jail or?
Well, it depends. Is that your is that like your
That's her.
Oh, that wasn't.
is that like your DBA name, or is that just like
Oh, Freedom?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I want my name to be, but it didn't sound right. No, it didn't sound right, so I didn't know if I could pick a name for myself or if it had to be from the.
Well, listen, you can have
names of nobility.
you can have your title of nobility, but if you prefer people to call you Freedom.
And then I figured I put that in
Yeah. So how
So you say the holiest of holies, only you know Jamila,
special
Imani,
people
Asha,
know.
or
Yeah.
but everyone else knows you as Freedom. That's right and exact to leave it like that.
Okay.
And as you wrote it, it's right and exact.
Okay.
Yeah.
Without me saying it's right and exact.
I'm gonna keep it that way anyway.
Yeah, all right.
I started to
That's
just
what I
put
want.
Freedom and nothing else.
However you want it, you could
want
even
it.
do that.
Baby,
As long as
Like
you,
Madonna, but
as long as you can stand on it. That's all that matters. All that
you know, I have the
matters.
same last name, and I kept saying I was gonna change it. So now we have the same last name.
Okay.
give me paper. She loves eating.
What you doing, honey?
Just like her daddy.
My
Took me a couple years to get over that phase.
Really?
Yeah, I think I was eating paper when I was.
Smart people eat paper.
I was eating paper all the way to like 12. Was that like 12?
So did my brother.
Yeah, I was eating paper like gum.
Like smart people eat paper.
Bad.
I only ate a little bit. So
I know all the chemicals in the paper and stuff. Like it wasn't the greatest thing for my mouth.
Did you eat toilet paper too?
No. No, I did not eat toilet paper. Negative.
Eat all the things that come out.
That would have been nuts. Uh-oh. Put this thing back on the charger.
Okay.
Oh, it's low?
Yeah.
You used the big piece of
You didn't grab it. It's still plugged in right now.
You didn't tell me to put it on the charger.
Does he understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, girl, he understand. It's funny because he's 3. But so we go around other kids, you can tell the kids that don't have siblings, because at that little they don't. But people look at me like, he know. I'm like, girl, yes, that's like talking to a 6-year-old.
I wish I had never put my kids in school because I didn't know all this stuff then. But what's happening now is my son who lives here, he says, every time I try and tell him something about what we're studying, he says, "Oh, Mom, I don't want to hear it. You already gave me white Jesus. Leave me and white Jesus alone." Literally.
So I think he's still holding a grudge.
It's so hard.
Well, he said.
I think he's holding a grudge.
I said, well, you trusted me then. Trust me now.
I think he's holding a religious grudge.
I can imagine in our family that's easy to do. Because everyone's so dogmatic and, literally separation happens, if you're not of a certain, faith.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just natural that way. But I will say, actions always speak louder than words. So just do you. Let him see how you move.
Yeah, I can remember.
And trust me, he's gonna start coming around. Hey, Mom. So, what you doing? Wait, did you change your name? What you doing?
So in full life means that I'm not dead. So I'm letting them know.
Yeah, no,
I'm
you're not. You're not dead in the eyes of the law.
So I'm letting them know. Hey.
Yeah. So what happens is everyone's being treated like they dead. That's why they call it. Make shows called The Walking Dead.
I know.
Or they call them the dumb, deaf, and blind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't reason. They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to acknowledge it.
But you know what's happening to me here while I'm studying this stuff? I'm having like validation for beliefs that I had that I didn't. Just sometimes you just know something's not right.
Yep.
And then you don't know the reason why. Like I keep saying, I don't want to be affiliated with any religion. And then I start studying,
Yeah.
And then like when I'm studying, I love Bible prophecy. But especially when I got the redemption manual, and it's breaking down those words like you did in the trust, like redemption, declaration, and salvation. And I was like, man, all of this stuff is just like an overlay. It's almost as if they were trying to tell us this story.
Yeah.
This story, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
this is the story I feel like it's trying to tell us. And that's shocking to me.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like I'm receiving that message, but the same way that my son is having a hard time saying, leave me alone, let me keep Jesus, I still haven't said, okay, absolutely 100%, this is telling me this story. Yeah. And so what I've actually done is I've been making a chart, and so I've been putting what the Bible says, and then what, I'm learning next to it. So
you can see the
So
comparison.
I can have a whole picture, and then at the end.
That's beautiful.
Good.
That's a great way of doing that. Because it's all one and the same thing.
Yeah, I can't wait till that.
But yeah, that's the realization I came to.
Yeah.
Like, when you said that, I was like, oh, this is what they was trying to tell us about. This is why they was like, don't have someone else rule over you, rather than, like, I forgot what chapter it was, but it was like, we want someone to rule over us. Okay. And it's like, why not you rule over yourselves?
They're kings, right?
Yeah. I think someone was asking, was like, why not you rule over yourselves? Why not have someone who you know? Why do you want someone else to rule over you?
But that's how Saul got appointed king, because they were saying, please give us a king.
Yeah, rather than taking it into their own hands.
Before that, they had prophets over them, and so when they kept praying for God to give them a king, they ended up with kings, and that's how we have presidents today, because they turned from prophets to kings to presidents.
Yeah, just like empires, nations, and now we got states.
Rotten kings down there.
Okay, so moving
well, I think someone says all it takes for evil, was that Thomas Jefferson? No. Was that him? All it takes for evil to succeed is for good men to stand by and do nothing.
Yeah, I had that in the Secrets of America. Oh, wow. And now they're coming out with
That's all
videos,
it takes for evil to succeed.
And like they're saying all this stuff is a lie, and they've got these people like, sounding real smart, like, saying all this stuff, and these people are, saying all this stuff, and it's not true. And I'm like, it is true. It's so obvious that it's true. And now you're getting up there trying to make these videos saying that this stuff is not true.
Frida, I was reading a comment the other day. Someone wrote in the comment, "You're not indigenous. You're a slave from Africa." I just started laughing. Like in 2018, like as much stuff I put out, as much stuff is online, like you still. Then I'm like, nah, you're just a troll.
Okay, so under here where it says number 1, I want to put, and I think I did in the one I can't find. I want to put something ahead of this, like the God of the creation or something. The creator of.
Why don't you say the Almighty Creator? Almighty Creator of the universe. That's always a winner.
Should I put it in all caps?
No.
Because the three more American zodiacs in all caps, and the United States Republic is in all caps. So number 1 and number 2 and number 3 should all be in caps, right?
Those are man-made.
To be uniform?
Those are man-made.
Okay,
things,
I understand.
though.
I
Stop
understand.
saying you talking about the creator. I don't know if you can put the creator in all caps. I think that might be.
See, my mind wasn't even thinking that way. Still, my mind is just thinking uniformity of a document as a writer. Okay.
You should probably make the font bigger though.
This whole thing is like intense. So
Let's get right to it.
okay.
Gotta put this down. All right. Almighty of the universe.
Those are not for your face. Mommy keeps saying, don't stick the stickers on your face.
It's a mustache.
You know what that means, Kente? We need to take you to a face painter. We're gonna take you to a face painter and have him paint your face, and you're gonna rock out the rest of the day.
It's cute.
I used to help face painters at the aquarium too.
Brown.
You used to what?
At the aquarium, they used to have like high school kids, so they were like volunteering during the summer, so they would have like face painting or like midday picnics, so the kids would just come and just get their faces painted. So I would help them set up and everything like that.
What does that imposed color of law? I think you said it before.
Imposed color of law. So like I said, the assumption is, unless you say otherwise, you're Negro, black, and colored.
Oh,
so this is why it's imposed. And it's a color. Yeah, it's not law. It's colorable. Okay. And when you look up color in Black's law, it means not real. It's a cover. It's a cloak. It's a man, so many ways.
And they're
artificial.
Doing all that just to take away the
right
heritage of the
correct, which is the real substance of a being, not the color. You know what I mean? So that's why everything is assumed. And then once you say, "Oh, a minority," once you don't disagree, or if they say this is a democracy and you don't say anything, you've accepted an imposed color of law.
Okay, right.
So this is why you gotta proclaim, you gotta shout out, you gotta speak.
Yeah,
that's in the Bible too.
Yeah, you gotta speak. You gotta speak against the evils when they come to you. You gotta speak out against them.
Spirit not show my people their transgressions in the house of Jacob their sin. Or how about when you get baptized? That's saying I'm getting married to God, and you're making a declaration for your family and friends.
No different.
No
different. This right here is a baptismal. That's why it's typical. When you put your declaration on the record, you baptize yourself. Now you're this person moving forward in the light of Christ, right?
Yeah.
You know better, therefore you're gonna do better. And if you don't do better, you can hold me to the highest consequences of the law.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking full responsibility. I'm being accountable.
But I think it's more like, I was thinking of this the other day with the baptism, because I remember when I was getting baptized in the Seventh-day Adventist Church, they said, this means that you're married to God, and we do it in front of the church and in front of your family to show that you're making open declaration. And they say, because the Bible says, if you deny me before men, I will deny you before my Father.
Yeah, and then when you do it openly, all those people also serve as witnesses. 2 or more come in my name, I am present. So imagine if you have a whole room. You know what I mean? God is very much present.
Yeah, but you need 2 witnesses to do the paperwork too.
Yeah. Well, of course, trying to get 30 people to witness a document would seem kind of overboard. I think 2 is just fine. So yeah,
United States Supreme Court, Supreme Law.
Yes, acts of state. Pretty much stating that one state cannot place judgment over the acts or laws of another state.
Okay, so these points are saying what? Points 1 through 8 are saying?
This is pretty much like a maximum international law. One nation cannot supersede or impose on another nation.
Okay.
We're both on equal footing. We're both of God, so we will both respect each other as God. And this is where, for us, when people claim to be U.S. citizens, this maxim is exercised because now other nations, they can't interfere or impose on another nation's property.
Is that what you told me, right? The Almighty of the universe? The Almighty God?
The Almighty Creator.
Yeah. Okay, so what I'm saying, this is a list and there's a bullet point. So we're gonna say this list is describing what for people who don't.
Well, this list right here is describing the laws or the tenets in pursuance of which you are, following. So the tenets, when you're claiming you're going back to the ways of your ancestors, a lot of those old ancient laws have been codified into modern day things, things we look at today, like the Constitution, treaties. Even if you look at certain statutes and codes, you will find remnants of those ancient laws modernly being adapted today. You know what I'm saying? The ancient of all laws being treaties. Treaties is an ancient thing. We've always been treating with each other, whether it be treating for a certain trade. Hey, you're good at fish, so let me treaty with you on this. I supply you timber and lumber. You supply my village fish. We treaty that way. So we've always been doing that. So this is just establishing some of those laws that are in place.
Let it be declared known, published, and resolved that I, Jamila, yada yada, know his freedom and proper persona.
Yeah, propria persona.
And I read C juris, but I can't remember.
Su juris. These are all Latin words. You're going to get familiar with them. Su juris means of your own right.
Okay.
Of one's own right.
Okay, being in my own proper person by birthright, an inheritance without the foreign and post-code law or assumed due process of the United States pursuant to, but not limited to. So this is what I'm not making the connection from between here.
Okay, so
and here in the bullet point.
So now what you're saying is, I am Jamila, Imani Ashail, also known as Freedom, in propria persona. I'm in my proper person, of my own right, meaning no one's forcing me to do this. I am of my own right. Being in my own proper person by birthright, being that I was born here, so this is my heritage, this is my culture. An inheritance without the foreign imposed color of law. So without the laws of Europeans saying, oh, you're Negro, black, or colored, you're a U.S. citizen. Without those things. We're standing as who we are. Without the imposed color of law. Or assumed due process. Because when they assume you're a color, then they assume that this is a particular type of treatment you need to be given.
Okay. So without the imposed color of law. Okay.
So without them imposing slavery laws on you.
Well, then who am I right now outside of, because I haven't done this yet. I'm still black and a Negro and I'm still all those things.
Only in their system.
Okay.
That's about as far as it goes. Mentally, you are none of those things. Which is where the declaration starts, mentally. Then you can proclaim it openly. But you got to be convicted mentally first. In your mind and in your heart.
Right.
Because if you're not unsure, who's going to take you seriously? They're not going to feel that energy of, oh, this person's serious. So without the imposed color of law, meaning imposed artificial law, which isn't real law, it's Christian slave codes, right? Or assumed due process of the Union State Society, meaning the so-called Washington State, New York, Florida. These are all the states of the Union. Texas, California, Nevada.
Give me all the states, just the states, and just all the states.
Yeah, without the due process, meaning we were here when we were here existing before these states were created. For hundreds, if not millions, billions of years before they were in existence. So we're going back to they don't exist. We're going back to that type of mindset without their imposed color law, without their assumed due process, without their permission, because it was never needed or necessary.
Because if they're not there, then,
what was it? We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. Europeans is Plymouth Rock. He was already here. They landed on us. So now we are going and get, permission to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Now, pursuant to, but not limited to. So now they're establishing certain laws that reflect your ancient customs, but it's not limited to what's being listed.
Okay.
Meaning it's a lot broader than that, but we're just going to list a couple of things just to give you, you know what I'm saying, a track to follow. So one being Almighty Creator of the universe. Next one being the free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution. The Zodiac Constitution is filed in the Library of Congress. Okay. Filing number is AA222141. which is also the tax exemption number for Moors when we go about when we're buying things, we're purchasing things. This is the number we're using, which is tied to our Constitution.
Okay, so when my books are registered in the Library of Congress, so I understand that.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Perfect. There you go. So you already know. And also, anything you register in the library is admissible in court as evidence.
Anything that I register in the Congress?
Yeah,
Library of Congress?
anything you file,
Okay.
anything you register in an office of the United States of America, if you get a document notarized by a notary or file it in a court, it's admissible in court as evidence.
Oh.
So that's the purpose of us putting our declaration on the record, because now we have something that can stand in our position.
No, I don't know if I should bring this up now or after we're done, but I'll say it and then you can decide.
Okay.
So before I met you guys, a friend of mine who I met at, was already going through the process. He was working at Trader Joe's. And so we were going to work together and figure this stuff out. But
right.
He moved, I got sick, and so now he's already done it with American National. Got work, paid a lot of money. Now he says that you don't have to worry about the declaration, just do the protected title process. And you say you don't have to do the protected title process.
You're talking about the UCC?
UCC one.
Well, it's not me saying that. It's not me saying that. Where's that book at?
In your video, what I listened to a couple days ago about was it a trust and something else? Trust
with the UCC, right?
Yeah. And so you were saying that if you were saying basically because you're doing this, you're already becoming what you're trying to do with.
Say it
so
again.
that's kind of my question. That's why I'm still torn between the two, because one's telling me one thing,
right now. So I'm going to reiterate. I am not saying anything.
Okay.
The book is saying it. I'm just repeating what the book says. Okay? So this is not a battle between what I'm saying and what another person's saying. This is between what you are reading and what someone else is saying. 9-311. Perfection of security interests. Perfection of security interests subject to certain statutes, regulations, and treaties. Okay. A. Security interests subject to other law. So you can perfect something that's subject to something other than UCC codes. The UCC says it right here. A. Security interests subject to other law. Except as otherwise provided in subsection D, the filing of a financing statement is not necessary or effective to perfect a security interest in property subject to a statute, regulation, or treaty of the United States whose requirements for a security interest obtaining priority over the rights of a lien creditor with respect to the property preempt section 9310A.
Okay. And that's just straight up.
So what's that saying is that the treaty, if you have a treaty, you don't need to file. The filing of a financial statement is not necessary nor effective. Now, it's stating here that if you have your perfection subject to other law, which would be the treaty, right? Then it would preempt someone who has a priority over the rights of a lien creditor. So a lien creditor would be someone who has a mortgage on the property. And they're claiming they have an interest only simply through this attachment by mortgage. But you're saying I have a right to this via a covenant my ancestors made.
So is that why these people who are going out and just like taking houses, people who are American nationals like Moors, I saw a video I was watching, it was on the news that people were just taking houses and like getting arrested because they stay in that And technically, even they said on the video that technically they could be right, but in 2018 you can't do that.
Yeah, it's not that they're wrong. It's that it's more so how are they doing
There's
it.
new process.
There's a process for that.
Oh,
There's a process in place. Adverse property claim.
And an empty house just sitting there.
Yeah, listen. If you see an empty house and you want to make improvements on it, let's say you just go one day and you just mow the lawn in front of that. you can attach a mechanical lien to that property. You know why? Because you just raised the value of the community, because now it no longer looks less of a dump. So the purpose of owning property is to encourage people in the community to actually want to improve the community. Hey, if you need a house, we got tons of abandoned properties. Why don't you go fix one up?
Okay, and then somebody comes along, they want to sell it, but you got a lien on it. What happens?
Well, here's the thing. This is why this is important. Because it's saying if you have a security interest in a treaty, it supersedes that of the rights of a lien creditor with respect to the property. So someone says, ooh, I have a mortgage. Yeah. And then I say, ooh, I have rights to the land by my treaty. The book just says mine's is superior. Because mine's came first. Mine's came first. Yeah. It's ancient. This is an ancient covenant.
And see, they don't tell you the outcomes of these cases. They just say, "Oh, you got arrested." You know, they got arrested. I don't know what happened. Oh, and then hold up, almost. Now I tell you, because I was in the UCC path myself, and every time I was about to do it, something would happen where it wouldn't allow me to. And then, so now here's another thing I want to make clear: compliance with other law. What page are you on? Same page. Oh, okay. Right here. I highlighted it. I crinkled it too. So. Okay, yeah. So, compliance with other law, right? So how do you know how if you're perfecting it, it is in compliance with how you're doing things? How do you know if you're doing it right? Compliance with other law. Compliance with the requirements of a statute, regulation, or treaty described in subsection A for obtaining priority over the rights of a lien creditor. The priority over the rights of a lien creditor, meaning you have priority with your treaty. With respect to the property, I'm going to read the same thing, right? Regulation treaty for obtaining priority over the rights of a lien creditor is equivalent to the filing of a financing statement under this article. Wow. So I'm going to read that one more time. Compliance with other law. Compliance with the requirements of a statute, regulation, or treaty described in subsection A for obtaining priority over the rights of a lien creditor is equivalent to the filing of a financing statement under this article.
Short term.
And short term, remember before we were talking about the Moors having the peace and treaty, the treaty with the first treaty, only standing treaty.
The world's longest lasting treaty.
We still have that. People who were indigenous here. So that treaty of peace and friendship gives us authority. I'm trying to say it right.
You are saying it right.
There's
I'm following
authority
you.
over a person who might have legal access to the house.
So
through like paperwork.
Like paperwork.
Like let's say like a mortgage, or someone has like a deed. They say, oh, I have a deed to this property. And then you say, okay, I have a deed to the land.
The deed to the land would supersede the deed.
And that's what the treaty is. The treaty is a deed to land.
Yeah, but doesn't have to specifically say.
Oh, yeah, we're going to go into the treaty, too, for the compliance part.
So you said the treaty is up here, see?
Yeah, treaty is the mother. Everything else is children.
Everything else is so
even the Constitution. Even the Constitution is a child because it was adopted from the treaty.
I feel like this is the never-ending story because we didn't learn this stuff in school. So I
tell you,
my
imagine where we would be. Imagine where we would be right now if we did.
My brain and my tongue to get the, I know how to talk and I understand. I can tell you about what I learned in school, but all this stuff is just like so foreign.
It's true.
Yeah, and that's why I said.
That's why it's so much.
Yeah, I would not send my kids to school if I had small kids now.
So you're right, because even with our 9-year-old, when we were sending him, when she would get up there to talk about the natives and show the picture, he blurred out, "Oh, the natives didn't look like that. Those are white natives. So that's wrong."
It made him uncomfortable.
And he wasn't trying to be forward. He's just like, "Oh no, that's wrong."
Yeah, he's being honest.
Right. So you're right. We took him out, so he will not go back.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work for us anymore.
The teachers probably didn't know either.
It worked when we were brainwashed and we thought we were white.
Right,
we thought we were white people, or we thought we were slaves from Africa.
They don't know what to do when kids do that. That's why. Like, they don't even fundamentally. If a kid told me, "Oh, that's not true," I wouldn't know how
No.
to respond to a kid.
You know why? Because you can't respond to that. You just literally got checked. You can't check that. That's why they don't know what to do, because you can't do anything with that. Because it's the truth. They're just, not used to that coming from a child. They're like, no, I'm the teacher. You're the student. Be quiet, or you're being disruptive in class. No. They sent me to class for asking what we were doing before we were slaves. They sent me to the office. Damn bastards. Could have just said I don't know. Make me look like I'm being a disturbance in class and shit. But yeah, so I could pull up the treaty. Let me see. The article in the treaty specifically that talks about perfection of security interests. That would be Article 22. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. Can you pull up Article 22 for me?
Are you online? Is your computer online?
Yeah. Can you pull up Article 22 for me?
It popped up just now when I typed gmail.com. Is it something that we have in the drive?
I'm having difficult.
What, Google Drive?
Yeah.
What, as far as the treaty? Yeah. It's in the treaty.
The drive?
Yeah, you go in
I
the
can
drive.
just open it. Yeah, I don't have to Google stuff.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Eating that little snack.
Should I look at
online now?
all the ancient laws
Yeah.
you're looking for is in the Declaration of Nationality. Honestly, I mean, anyone can go on RV Bay publication website and just like download the
In
document
the drive, the tree.
and then study it, man. Study it.
I probably have it. If you
Yeah.
send
So
it
go
me.
to Organic Laws and Treaties.
Can I just type the name of the document? It searches it in the drive.
Okay.
What's the name of the document?
Treaties. It's not because it's not named Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
I know. Organic Laws and Treaties is in that folder.
Yeah.
The Barbary Treaties, no?
There you go.
Huh?
There you go.
Barbary treaties?
Barbary meaning the Berbers,
Okay.
or the Moors.
I still got that thing.
Moorish treaties.
I didn't download everything yet.
Here, you wanna look at it, or what do you want me to do? And give me the phone so
Right.
I can point it at you. Then you can do that.
Can you reset the room?
Hurry up.
See it right there? Oh, little baby.
Give her a couple minutes, you got. That's when you come back.
Say hey.
Oh, it's okay now.
Say what's up, people. Religion is fake, but it's real if that's all you know. It's fake to real people, right? Say hi. What are you gonna tell them today? Oh, she got his laughs, y'all. The kids always love saying hello. In the middle of our session.
There you go.
Found it? Can you please go have a seat and color that book? Because it's getting exhausting telling you stuff over and over. Take it to the table.
Cool.
You see your father?
Yeah, man. Tell you. Basics. 9-311. Get well acquainted. This book, you don't need this whole book. You just need parts of this book.
Why is she laughing?
Because I'm telling the truth, and the truth is funny. Right, T-Mama? Right? Yeah, truth is funny.
I think she wants you.
You want Dada? You like when Dada's on the microphone? You a clown.
You a clown.
That's Daddy. She pointed to you on the screen. Get off of her, please.
Oh, Randy, I'll read it for you while you see it.
Okay, yeah.
This is chapter or Article 22 of the treaty. The 22nd article is that if an American citizen shall die in our country, an American citizen being Christian, European, or belonging to the Christian nation. If an American citizen shall die in our country, and no will shall appear. If an American citizen shall die in our country and no will shall appear, their consul shall supervise his estate.
So the state will get everything.
Yeah, the consul of the state being the governor, which is the president of every state, and then everyone who's underneath the governor will be the agents, right? So, if an American citizen shall die in our country is called Morocco. It happens to be on the same soil as what people call today modernly America. But Morocco was first.
Okay, so that takes the precedence.
Precedence, yes. First in time, first in line. If an American shall die in our country and no will shall appear, their consul shall supervise his estate and his goods, meaning merchandise. And if there shall be no consul, the effect shall be deposited in the hands of some person worthy of trust. Until the party shall appear who has a right to demand them. Now, someone who would have a right would be someone who may have like a deed of trust or mortgage, right?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
But then it says, but if heirs of his are present, the property shall be given to the heirs without interference. Or if he has designated in a will signed with his hand the person to whom the property is to be delivered, then the question shall be submitted to the consideration of the consul. So now our estates are being supervised by the state because we're all civil little mortus. We're dead in the eyes of the law, therefore we cannot transact business. We cannot trade. We cannot trade because we're trading in another man's name. Therefore, they call that the mark of a beast. Because a beast only, a beast does not have a mind of its own. A beast does not have a mind of its own. Listen, a beast does not have a mind of its own.
Cannot buy or sell.
Right. Now, a beast borrows its mark. A beast doesn't have its own mark. That's why they call it the mark of a beast, because you're a copycat. You're not original. You're not authentic. You're artificial. Your color.
Okay. The straw man has the mark of the beast.
Yeah, and so a man thinketh, so is he. So if you think you're the straw man, then guess what? You just claim the mark of the beast. Right? So
the straw man is actually buying and selling. It appears, but everything that we own is not ours.
Nope.
Right now, even this house is not really ours.
It's the property of the state.
We're not national.
Question, okay.
Yes?
If we don't get in this giving out of it would never be ours, correct?
No,
nope. Because even after you would have so-called paid the mortgage, you still pay property tax.
If you would sit down and stop talking all over the place.
Oh, wait a minute. In that book, The Straw Man, you know what it says? That they actually, it says when you buy a house, that the bank goes into your trust and gets all the money for the house. Say if this house is $300,000. Plus they get all the interest that the loan would have accumulated over the life of the loan, all at one time. And then on top of it, we are still going out working, creating money for them.
Yeah. That's why the banks never close.
That's why the banks never close.
Yep.
They could claim $9 on every $1 we put in the bank.
Yep.
Yeah, banks also act as trustees.
I'll show you the book. Okay.
Ain't that crazy? Every
bank is a
$1
trustee.
they get 9.
No wonder why they never close. No wonder why they're so big.
Well, you see, though, 9 is the number of born too. So as long as you can get a 9 for every 1, you can keep being born. You can keep born in this line.
The cipher
What
is
about
endless.
what about a credit union?
They pretty much. I mean, they're the same thing. They just they treat you relationally different, but it's still fundamentally the same.
Keep talking. So my question is, people who are looking to declare their nationality, and they are not in like African American or person of color, like a white person, for instance, and they're still under slavery because if they have a Social Security card, right, or a Social Security number, or a driver's license, or whatever you call it, birth certificate.
Having those things doesn't make you a slave.
It doesn't.
All those things are part of your estate that's being supervised. The problem is not being yourself. By not being yourself, you're in a continual state of abandonment. And in that state, you are not inheritable. We do have an inheritance, but if we're not a proper person, we're not inheritable, meaning we can't receive it.
So I guess what I'm trying to ask is, if I had just did the protected UCC,
if you just did the UCC and nothing else,
and not the nationality,
you'd be in a big heap of trouble.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
Because then what happens is now, no offense, but it would be property trying to own property.
Maybe my mind can't.
Because as a ward of the state, you're considered state property.
Okay, I gotta ask my question again. What did I ask? My mind can't receive it. I heard what you said, but it just bounced back.
Okay, I'll try it again.
All right, wait a minute.
One more again. Come on, just like baseball.
Okay, if I had declared my nationality, which I was about to do until something stopped me, on this website called the General Post Office, ran by the United States of America. Okay, they have you fill out a simple form, pay a little bit of money, and then right when I was about to do it, out of impatience, someone told me not to do it. I didn't know why, but I know how to listen to her. Those women have very strong intuition. Don't let her touch that.
So always follow the gut.
She keep going back over there.
If I had done it, what would my status be? You're saying that I would be in big trouble because
You'd be in the worst situation because then at that point you're impersonating a creditor of the United States, and a creditor of the United States is not a U.S. citizen. A creditor of the United States would be an heir of this vast estate who has an estate, meaning they have ancestors who came before them that were running this estate, and so now because they have they have that bloodline running through them, they have a right to come back and reclaim it.
Okay.
They have a right that supersedes or takes priority over a lien creditor.
Okay. And so this is what I wasn't understanding until last night, and I've been studying this stuff for a couple months now, right? I did not understand that when I was declaring my nationality, that I was actually declaring my nationality.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how to say it any other way. I just
huge.
thought it was a process, declaring my nationality. Okay.
Nah,
but and then I said to my friend, even this morning, I said, well, I'm still confused. What is my nationality? Because he's from India. So, and I was saying, well, what is my nationality? He was like, well, you were born here, weren't you? And I'm like, yeah, but what's my nationality? I was still, he said, well, we'll talk about it later, because he was doing something else, So I was just like, I said, and the problem here is that I'm doing this paperwork and I'm listening to your videos, but then I'm reading the redemption book. Yep. And so I'm confused, right? It does make sense to you?
It does, but you got you got to know what applies. You got to know what applies so you don't get caught in reading things that don't apply to you, or you're taking in information that doesn't apply to you. So that's how I stay away from the confusion, where I can read things like UCC and not get caught up in the hamster.
Ain't nobody taking pictures.
I can just see what applies to me. Oh, treaty. That's it. Regulation, statute, and treaty.
Yeah.
That's all I need. That's what applies to me. Now, if I want to say, hey, the statute applies, it can apply because I said it applies. But if I already have a treaty of commerce, why do I need codes of commerce? The Treaty of Commerce came first. So why should I settle for codes? That can change every year. They're always amended. They're always making edits. They're always taking stuff out. But you can't do none of that stuff to the treaty. The same one from 1836 is the same one now. That was the last time they made an amendment to it. 1836.
So just keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Stay under your treaty. The Moors.
Yeah, stay close to the trees. They provide oxygen.
Oxygen. Yeah, I ordered this book, but I don't think I really needed it because I already knew.
No, but you know what I say is,
the more knowledge you get.
the more knowledge, especially because we need to know how to operate commerce. But we need to know how to operate commerce according to our customs and traditions, not according to European customs and traditions. You know, we can do commerce, but let's do it how we did it, not how someone else did it.
Randy, I was like, you know, I'm reading all this stuff and all these websites trying to get me to spend all this money. But every time I listen to Brother Cool, he's saying something different. And I don't know.
I'm saying something different from what you're hearing because they're giving you pitch sales.
I don't know. Don't I tell you that all the time? Like you're saying, I don't know which one I'm supposed to listen to, you know?
What did your spirit say?
Don't do nothing until you know for sure. And I said, well, you know,
Don't do both of them.
yeah.
That's the truthful answer.
You know what does the prophet say? Man, know not by being told.
Right.
So I hate when people call us and they say, you know, someone told me. I said, well, did you look that up before you asked me?
And that was my question, which was the deciding factor. What would happen if I just did it without declaring my nationality as a Moor? Because then I'm back to the question, what's my nationality?
There are people now who've been locked up for years for trying to do, you know, discharge and getting into birth certificate and stuff like that. And it's not that the process is wrong. You're actually supposed to claim your estate when you reach majority.
Right, I read that.
Problem is, if you don't have a nationality, you're not.
They're trying to steal something that don't belong.
No.
And so the nationality is tied to religion? So the nationality?
No. Nationality, so if you look up the term nationality, the etymology is nativity. So nationality is nativity.
I think we're back online now. Okay.
Yes. So nationality is dealing with your nativity, meaning your bloodline, your bloodline. Your connection to your mother.
I've read so many things I can't remember what I heard, but it said everything inside of you is private and everything outside of you is public.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, no, that's so easy to remember. You know, everything is private.
But you know, just when you think about nationality, you're thinking about your mother.
That's right, Lady Isis.
Her mother. Her mother. Her mother.
Oh yeah, because she commented.
I thought you were saying,
no, she commented. She said, follow your heart and study.
Okay.
Yeah, no one can tell you.
Everyone who has a nationality.
No, Kenny, that's hot. You don't want to put that near that.
Okay, and they have a country and they have a landmass.
Get away from it,
That
please.
defines them as people. So, like, say you have a friend who's Indian.
Yeah.
Where's he from?
India. Now he's got the crest on his.
So his nationality would be
India.
Indian. But see, I can take it further than that. Before Indian, that would be Hindustan.
Right.
That's ancient. That's dealing with Moorish history.
Turn it
See what I'm
back
saying?
on.
So, it's like once you know, you can see things in the minor light, but then you know. Now, like I said, here for instance, we're Moors because this landmass is Morocco.
Touch it.
This landmass wasn't called United States of America until 1871. Remember, Columbus came 1492. What were they calling this landmass? Nobody knows why. Because they didn't know it. Only the indigenous people did.
What was the?
Al Maghreb, Al Aqsa. Morocco, the extreme west, which means sunset.
We be talking to Arab people that they know what we're talking about. Like, it's crazy. I was like, dude, he knows what you're talking about.
They don't know, yeah.
The people in America. You know, I'm telling you the truth. I'm listening to so much stuff I can't remember, but I was listening to a video this morning that said the rest of the nations are waiting for the Black Americans to wake up and figure out who they are.
Because they know we're the oldest ones.
Yeah.
In order for something. I don't know why they're waiting, but I guess when that happens and we figure out who we are, then.
Well, they're waiting because they know that we've been severely duped. So the wait is, oh my gosh, they're going to be angry when they wake up and realize that we all knew.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
And we all benefited from them not knowing. Everyone has benefited from us.
Indians, how they get it, you know, how they got Mokushu Casino, they built casinos.
Yeah.
They get so much money now because they got this and they got that.
But at what cost?
Yeah, they traded us out. Those are the ones who sold us out
A lot of people don't know.
for a place in it. They sold us out. You remember, the natives that they show you on those pictures are not the original indigenous people. They're darker colored natives. So all those, I call them $5 Indians. That's because I have to categorize things, girl. Like that's how I can understand it. Hey, you should put it over there. But I have to categorize them because those lighter skinned natives that were shown and growing up, those were natives that were mixed with the Mongolians who came and mixed still with the original natives. That we're like, oh yo, you came here. They're not violent toward us. Give them some land. So I call them $5 Indians because they made sure that when the new world was being created, their place in it was on a reservation. That's as comfortable as you can be after you sold out the majority, the rightful heirs. So by helping round us up or help declassify us, yeah, the whole misnomer of Indian, like the creation of that word. In itself, if you are saying that I am a federally recognized Indian, then that's buying into the whole story that they created, which doesn't leave a spot for the real native, does it? I mean, think about it. Do those Indians, they don't come to the urban schools to teach us anything. They don't come and tell us anything about history. So I like to believe that silence is consent. So no one's telling us things that they never know.
On it and they getting paid.
Yes, and that look as European as any person who says they're white, but they'll say, "Oh, I'm native. I get per capita." How do you get that? And then when I put my son in school, they telling me, "Well, are you a part of a federally recognized tribe? Are you enrolled in a tribe?" I said, "Excuse me, I don't even know what that means." My grandma said I'm Gullah Geechee. That's a native tribe. You're asking me, do they know I'm enrolled? I don't know how to answer that. But that whole system exists, though. What I'm saying is that it only exists for the ones who are part of the lie to be able to rattle off those numbers to get whatever free stuff. But you see, my skin, me looking like this is a clue that I am whatever you're saying. How come I just can't get those benefits? All these other documentations, because the document is supporting the lie, but only the liars who have that can get it. You know what I mean? Now the way you and I get it is starting from scratch, how we have, which is forming a body. You need a group to get reparations.
Church. Yeah. You cannot get your profound.
You have to have a church.
Yeah, you have
a
church, a society, a temple, a synagogue, a mosque.
Because I already have I can show you my minister's license. I'm a reverend. And so I call this the non-church church because I'm not affiliated with any religion. Yeah. So he told me I should just use that, somehow in my trust and file it as a business. But file as a church
a 508c, 508c1a, which is an organic church.
Okay.
Meaning there's no need for the state for anything. It's organic. That means, hey, freedom. Let's make an organization together. This will be our church.
So where you'll be nationalizing people.
What will be our religion? Oh, let's study nature. Let's learn how to replant, regrow. And then, hey, let's give the religion a name.
My mind is already thinking of one.
This is what I'm saying. This is how religion started. Yeah. From us doing that, like, hey, this is what we're ready to do. All right, we're gonna call this Christianity. We're gonna call this Coptism. We're gonna call this Buddhism. We're gonna call this Hinduism. And then when you look at all of them, they're similar.
Yes.
They maybe have a little tweak here, a little tweak there. I don't need the mic.
I've read the Circle 7 before. It's much like the Old Testament.
It is. The Circle 7 is Yeah.
Really? Yes. It's that simple.
You see all the paper and stuff.
Still acting.
Yeah.
So that means you could be 60 years old and still be a minor.
Can I put their names in here?
They are your blood. Remember, oh man, you were here when I read 22.
Okay.
Wherefore I'm just not gonna say that no more. We'll say it another time. Wherefore I, being part and parcel of the Moorish Empire / Morocco, named herein in my birthright, a lawful and legal entry of affidavit and public notification of nationality proclamation. My original indigenous we're going back into business, right? I, being duly affirmed under unity of blood, pledge my national, political, and spiritual allegiance to Yahweh, the creator of the heavens and the earth and all that is within them, and the Moorish nation, my aboriginal indigenous, archaic aboriginals, indigenes of Yahweh, the creator of the heavens and the earth and all that is written, all that is within them. Pledge my oath to Yahweh, my family. 5 points of light: love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Do squarely affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and having knowledge and firmly established belief upon the historical, lawful,
What you doing?
the historical, and adjudicated facts contained herein. Facts contained herein. Being competent in my own proper person to attest to this affidavit upon which I place my signature. Whereas I state, proclaim, and declare the following to the true, correct, certain, complete, not misleading, supreme, colored, or improper use or purpose to it.
No problem. None of that.
I am a noble descendant of the ancient Moabites, Moors by birthright, freehold, primogeniture, and inheritance. Be aboriginal to land of Mexum / Americans, of my ancient Moorish foremothers and forefathers. Territory I'm dealing with.
Okay. And how do I prove that? Like if I go to file my papers and they say, well, where's your proof that you're more?
Your proof? The interesting part about that. This is just for us as privately.
No.
One way. Being about our bloodline. So more has a certain biological chemical makeup on this planet.
Yeah.
Posted on my page.
Yeah.
But see, they're just paying homage.
Sit
They're
down.
trying to go back to us. And there's some of us who are trying to go to them and bleach our skin and do crazy stuff. So I respect them for trying to go back to nature. I don't know what we doing. You know, so anyone who has
You see her stand up.
anyone who's melanated, and I'm not saying that just because they weren't from here, they weren't Moors in other countries. So I could be in Europe and still be a Moor.
Yeah.
That would still be considered Morocco.
Yeah.
So our empire was vast. It wasn't just confined to just America.
There's a lot of black people in Italy and
They got what? Portuguese Moor, all types of Moors. Philippine Moors. So we were all over. Haitian Moors, Jamaican Moors.
So Moor and Wichita Indians are two separate tribes.
Indians is misnomer. I'm gonna tell you why. Remember I told you your friend, he has a nationality. He's Indian. He's from where? India. What's the name of this country?
America.
Right. So America ain't India, right?
Yeah.
So how can we claim to be Indians?
Okay.
Now it look like we're trying to jack India.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what a beast does. He doesn't have something of his own. He's always trying to jack someone else's stuff. AKA stateless. You don't have nothing of your own. Where's your mother country at? Where's your culture? Where's your heritage? Where's your history? What do you have? How have you contributed to this planet? If you don't have your own, then you're considered a beast. Right? So that's how you know you're more. On top of you,
Blah, blah, blah.
love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
I just looked at it because it's right now.
Meaning common sense. You want to be righteous.
Yeah.
No one has to tell you, hey, do the right thing. You just want to do the right thing, just for the sake of being right. You know. And that's all. And that's all it took. Other than that, you were considered something other than that. You'd be Christian, whatever you are. But for us as Moors, that's all it took for us to be like, oh, that's a Moor. That's a dirty Moor. That's a good Moor. That's an outstanding Moor. That's a lying Moor. That's a black Moor. Oh, that's a white Moor. See what I'm saying?
How many Moors are there? Yes. You know,
a lot more.
I could say.
How many Moors? What you mean, like awakened Moors?
She said a lot more.
Right?
Oh, a whole lot more than Moor.
There's more Moors than more.
There's so many Moors, I can't even count. I can't even count no more.
You can't count that.
There's so many Moors I can't count no
No
more.
more.
Can't count no more.
Okay, so we're on page 5.
Sit down,
Okay,
please.
so we're going from my
Why do we gotta keep saying it?
establishing. Can you go up a little bit further? I feel like I lost myself. I mean, go down. Look at that, just leave that. Right there. Okay. The Choctaw peoples of Moorish descent have proclaimed and possessed the unalienable meaning God-given, right? Those rights only come from your mother. I mean, I should say your creators, your mother and your father. They give you your unalienable rights, which they got from their mother and father, which they got from their mother and father, which they got from their mother and father, so it just goes back and back and back. So it's the same right being passed down from generation to generation. Have proclaimed and possessed the unalienable substantive rights and birthright, inheritance to our ancient names and nationality by nature's law, divine law, primogeniture, and by the recognized laws of the nations of the earth, international. Being the true ancient aboriginal indigenes of the land known as America, North being the heartland of the Moroccan Empire, Moors or Moors are the de jure, meaning lawful, de jure freeholders by birthright, inheritance and primogeniture status, and have claimed and possessed the secured rights to travel upon the public roadways, byways, and highways of our continental United States, absent of foreign, colored, or imposed exercise, taxation, contracts, intended or invented by the racketeering states, legislators to abridge and steal rights belonging to the natural peoples. These substantive rights are supported by and asserted by Freedom She Alma Republic. All right, it's the name of the republic. Okay.
You wrote that from me, right? You put that in here for the Freedom Center?
I didn't put Freedom She Alma Republic.
Who put Freedom in there?
I don't know. That's
I did.
right there.
Oh, I must
Look
have.
at hey, man, the name of the republic already. You know what I'm saying? Long as
Wait,
it's
I
a
thought
republic.
somebody else did. I was like, I thought you put it there when you sent it to me. Lissy, did you do it? She didn't put it.
Oh, I'm sorry. What'd you say? No, I didn't type anything.
Well, I think maybe I noticed that it was in your stamp, and then I maybe I did.
I know that's perfectly fine, man. Whatever
Possibly.
is, Freedom Center, whatever it is,
So
you have a right to have our
Freedom?
indigenous institution. Yeah.
Center.
Is that the name? Is that going to be the name of it?
The name of my business is the Personal Freedom Center. So, right, the Personal Freedom Center, Republic. I didn't know that.
Right. Your entity is whatever you call it. So,
Okay.
whether it has Republic at it on the end of it or not doesn't diminish the fact if it is a republic. You know? Okay. The laws of Yahweh, the laws of the great peace, the laws of nature, divine law, nature's God, the laws of nations, the free Moorish Great Seal, Zodiac Constitution, and affirmed by Articles 4 and 6 of the Constitution Covenant of 1774 to 1781, aka 1201 Moorish calendar, and lawfully adopted for the United States Republic, establishing its republican form of government. That's Article 4, Section 4. In all states in this government shall be guaranteed a republican form of government. Yeah. Egypt. The capital empire of the dominions of Africa, the inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan, the Moabites from the land of Moab. Moab is what we call today Utah. All right, Moabites from the land of Utah, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt, which would have been Arizona, to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, with their Canaanite, Hittite, and Amorite brethren who sojourned from the land of Canaan, seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation extend from northeast and southwest Africa, across the great Atlantis, even onto the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands, before the great earthquake which caused the great Atlantic Ocean. The Great Seal Pyramid is the national emblem and insignia of my ancestral Moorish nation, Empire of North America. The Great Pyramid is also the archaic symbol for civilization on the planet Earth. The Honorable Moor's acknowledgement of our Great Seal indicates those heirs who own up to, who support, and who proclaim our free national government. Moors.
I'm sorry, I have to stop you. So my issues with, I think I showed you a video where it says that the Catholic Church invented Islam. Did you ever watch it? Or did you ever hear that before?
No, but I can tell you Islam in itself, it wasn't always part of Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So if they said the Catholic Church invented Islam, it wasn't about
There was some guy that they raised up, and was it Ali? Prophet Ali or somebody before him that they raised up?
I know Islam, the way that the masses follow it, I could believe that the Catholic Church created that. However, what we follow as Moorish Americans is Islamism. So anytime you get ism, it looks similar to that, but it's not that. It only is similar in the way that sometimes how we present. Okay.
The Great Seal of the Pyramid, I was taught, Masonic, and the Masonic order is evil.
See, that's the trick.
I've read it in books.
I know, but they get you to not. So I'm gonna tell you what that does. That right there allows you to not own up to not support, to not proclaim your free national government.
Where'd she go?
Which that pyramid is a symbol.
Come back, baby.
So they took
that pyramid was there before anybody was here.
Yeah,
and they put it into secrecy, and they tell you that's devil worship. So you never go in.
So from what I understand is that they don't even let people inside those pyramids now. Like they got them, like if you go, like you can look at them, but you can't go inside. And I think it's because they want to hide the history of the
of course
faces on the wall.
Of course, I'm pretty sure.
That and what's in there.
What is in there?
Man, the Sphinx used to be a school. That's where the children and the sons studied. Yeah. And it had, the colors of the chakras. They had stones. The way that pyramid is set up, that the way that the sun comes in, it lights it up to where you get, like how we have stained glass windows. That whole effect come from the way that they did the pyramids with crystals to the light shines through. So that's our meager attempt of trying to replicate what they did in those pyramids is stained glass.
I was watching another video that said that if you have all the points of the pyramids lit up all over the world, that they would actually form those same constellations that we're looking at in that video I showed you the other day. Did you ever hear that before?
Yeah, I've been watching Knowledge of Forever Time.
Yeah, me too.
Girl, yes, that's a beautiful documentary. Me neither. It's so eye-opening. So eye-opening.
Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there because those are the stuck points in my head where I'm still saying I want to be part of religion. Sure. Now I just don't trust any of it.
Well, you know what? All those things that you say, I don't trust it. Look into it.
Okay.
Look into it for yourself, because I'll tell you that's your pyramid, and that's the key to the power over here. That's what they call the big Masonic secret. The big secret is they tricked you into thinking that you didn't build that.
And you think of all the things that black people do. Like I was just even thinking, man, of sports. Just like 20 years ago, the Lakers were mostly white.
Right.
I mean, now you look at basketball, you might see one white guy on
Exactly.
every team. Look at the people who are in the music. Look at all the things I can do. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Yeah,
by the
it's
way,
true.
when you
It's
look at
true.
the one white guy, he's normally the shooter.
Yeah.
He's not the guy going into the lane with the athleticism and
Yeah, and they got
Nah, he's
this
just
one
on
white guy
three-point
on
line,
Golden
ready to
State
launch.
now. I'm just like, what happened there? Because now
down,
it's not that
baby.
we're being allowed, it's just that we're taking,
Over.
we're owning. Yes, with our talent and with our gifts.
I think because to me, we're more athletic than the other people in sports. Yeah.
Biologically, our bone structure, we have thicker bones. Our bone density is stronger than theirs.
Do move different, stretch differently. We can do more things.
You know what I mean? Even look at great music, you have so many different talents.
Stuff like that.
Yeah, but you know the thing about melanin is, if you look at it on a scale, the more melanin or carbon that you possess, the more of the light spectrum you get to absorb. The less melanin and carbon you have, the less of the light spectrum you absorb. So there's some people who don't be able to fully see something that is common sense to you because it is not common sense to them because they don't have access to that full spectrum. But we assume everyone does, and everyone does.
Or we say everyone's equal.
Yeah,
I mean,
everyone's not.
theoretically, in our hearts, we should be equal. You know, whoever's loving people and teaching them, you should have an equality for dealing with folks. But in reality, we're not all biologically or biochemically the same.
Oh no, I think biologically and biochemically, everybody's a little different.
Yeah.
You are different than each other. Baby and I are different things.
You
You
were
like
identical
different
twins.
things.
Yeah.
You like different things,
Yeah.
But we do have that those basic things in common.
Right, it's common.
Like for one, I don't gotta worry about you catching skin cancer from the sun. I don't gotta worry about Vivian catching that. I don't gotta worry about me catching that. I don't gotta worry about Alicia over here catching anxiety because of global warming. Oh my God, it's hot. Like, oh God, it's 92 degrees. What are we gonna do? Like, so there's certain things we can relate.
Even though I don't like
to our body, even though we don't agree mentally on certain things, biologically, we all agree to the sun.
That's Randy.
We all agree to that. You know what I'm saying? We all agree to sunlight and water.
Yeah. And that's a good place to start.
Yeah. Which is the most basic things of living. Now, for people who can't take that, that lets you know that, are you naturally supposed to be in this setting?
Yeah.
Because why would a God, if you say God is all loving, then why, if I was God and I'm all loving, why would I make a sun that gives the whole earth planet, but then I would create an entity that can't take the sun? As a matter of fact, the sun does the opposite. It hurts them. Why would I do that? I'm all loving. It just don't make sense. So I feel like, there are certain things in this environment now that are unnatural and they're being purged out naturally. And it's up to us to leave the earth alone and get out of the way. And once she cleans everything out, to not muck it up again. And not overstep our bounds.
Oh my God.
What?
Her hair scared me.
Okay, so we're at the
middle. So keep looking at pyramid. That's why they got that pyramid on that so-called $1 note. Right? They got a pyramid.
Nobody
pyramid
knows what it means or why it's there. We should know.
What? That pyramid says 1776 on it.
Yeah, but I mean,
What happened in 1776 though? What happened in 1776?
America, whatever.
Declaration of Independence. All men are considered what? Free and equal.
4 score and 7 years.
Right. So relate to the party. Relate to the party. We've always been considered free and equal. We haven't treated ourselves, or we haven't looked at ourselves as that.
No.
Oh no.
Because we're not a party to it.
I know, but see, what we're party to is our pyramid. So see, this is what I'm saying. We only have what our ancestors left for us to go back to.
Okay.
It's not like we have a broad thing. Like, it's very general. There's pyramids here. There's pyramids over there. There's pyramids across the water. There's pyramids under the water. There's pyramids on other planets. There's pyramids on Mars.
Right.
There's pyramids in the Pleiades system.
You know about the Pleiades?
Yes. The 7-star system I do. I got pyramids. Can I borrow it? There are pyramids everywhere.
I started reading, but I
Stop
thought it was
doing that for
crazy.
you breaking.
It's a calling card. That's how you know. That's how you know we were here. You know what I'm saying?
Canadians.
Yeah. So
No.
definitely look into it because that's why they keep such a tight leash on it. Oh, it's devil worship. Stay away from
When
that.
I find these books, I
All
think,
seeing
these
eye.
weird books. Do you ever hear of the Urantia books?
So what?
Book of Urantia?
Book of Urantia.
Yeah, I have that too.
Urantia?
Yeah, okay. And so,
He said trench.
yeah, yeah, I have that too. So I'm just like, man, there's some weird stuff in there that you never heard of before. But anyway, let's go.
Well, it's by design. I'll tell you that
I
much.
want to make sure that I can have this done this week.
Okay.
And let's stay focused.
All right.
Okay.
The noble descendants of Moors, Mers, heirs apparent, are the national or the natural members
See, Daddy?
/ citizens of the ancient Al-Moroccan Empire, North America, and are duty bound to recognize and to support our Great Seal government and nation of the natural people, and command the enforcement of our Constitution. Thus, the organized communication orders are referred to as the Great Seal National Association of Moorish Affairs. The Free Moorish Nation, inclusive of all the aboriginal indigenous tribes and provinces of the natural people, are the rightful bearers of the names and titles Ali, El, Bey, Day, Al, and all future titles created. The free Moors or Mers, by freehold inheritance, retain all substantive rights and immunities, enjoy the exercising of substantive rights, and operate upon consummated right law, taxonomy, principles, having vested constitution, secured rights and immunities from taxation, and from criminal and civil jurisdiction by and of the United States Rights Republic, USA, pursuant to, but not limited to, the United States Republic Supreme Court and the acts of state to wit. So these are the acts of state right here. Every state is bound to their sovereignty. And the courts of one country government done in the same or it's who's that, Rebecca?
Say,
yeah, let's
where
say
Esau.
And let's say Esau would be
no, God still blesses him, but he's the one that duped.
Oh, what? Did you say Jacob had a name change too?
Yeah, he became Israel. He was his name was changed to Israel.
Israel?
Yes.
Israel.
I mean Israel.
Shame on you.
Shame
You know
on
Ra
you.
is evil. Don't you know they cast demons out of people who does Ra?
He's
The
Ra
spirit of
evil.
Ra.
He's Rahel. Right, the purifier. The God of purification.
You hear that white guy that does that name, the word thing, the day,
What do you do?
Okay. The present United States municipal and civil laws and codes of the land are an incorporated and of self-government established by the political powers of the General Assembly of each state of the Union and initiated at Philadelphia,
See, Daddy?
Pennsylvania, North America in the year 1854. Okay, it governs only the rights and conduct of white people, Christians and Jews of the 1863 United States Rights Republic under the Magna Carta, the Knights of Columbus Code, and the Ku Klux Klan Oath. Forever said United States Rights Republic denies citizenship of the United States Republic to the descendants of the Moorish nation in the Western Hemisphere, erroneously referred to Americans,
Nationality,
etc.
because we don't have
Because we've been rebranded. So yes.
In addition, the Supreme Court of the United States, in the landmark case of Dred Scott versus Sanford, 60 U.S. 19 Howard 393 in 1857, held that Negroes, whether held to slavery or free.
No, she acting crazy.
Okay, no problem. Yeah. Probably ready to lay down.
You see? Let's see but
Yeah.
now that.
Okay. I could just put this down. Just put this down. They could listen. They don't gotta see all the time. Okay.
Who, the baby?
All right.
Did you turn that
Turn what off?
on? I think you hit that button when you put something on top of there. Then you have that air conditioner on right here.
No, there's no air conditioner. That's
Oh, it's not.
Dehydrator.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'll make
Yeah,
sure
I
I didn't
remember
turn
that being
nothing
on.
on. I'm just making sure. I'm like, wait a second.
It's not plugged in.
Okay, do that.
Okay.
All right. The Knights of Columbus Code.
That's the part was it's green because I was trying to understand why that.
In the Ku Klux Klan oath, forever said Union States Rights Republic denies citizenship in the United States Republic to the descendants of the Moorish nation in the Western Hemisphere, erroneously referred to and branded and mislabeled as Negroes, Blacks, Coloreds, and African Americans. In addition, the Supreme Court of the United States, in the landmark case of Dred Scott versus Sanford, 60 U.S. 19 Howard 393 in 1857, held that Negroes, whether held to slavery or free, were not included and were not intended to be included in the category of citizen, subject of the Union States Rights Republic. Resultantly, the true indigenous nobles of the Almoracan Empire, the Free Moors, bearers of the names, titles Ali, El, Bey, Day, and Al, are excluded from the Union States Rights Republic, USA jurisdiction. The true nobles of the Almoracan Empire are indigenous, private, and self-governed by right law, principles, and customs, and only obligated to our Creator, Yahweh, the creator of the heavens and the earth and the sea and all that is in them. Free Moorish Zodiac Constitution, Circle 7, archaically established by our ancient foremothers and forefathers. Such extended allegiance and obligation, which the Great Seal and the high principles and moral standards embodied in the Moorish national flag, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. The true Almoracan noble indigenous of the land maintain a constitutional and lawful non-obligatory tax status and position relative to foreign entity taxation, thus the foreign trust, and remains a non-obligatory respect for the Union States Rights Republic, its members, its laws, its ordinances, its codes, its customs, and its tradition pursuant to the Free Moorish American Zodiac Constitution.
Why do I have to say that?
Article 4 and Article 6, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship between the United States and Morocco, 1786. Did I say 7? No, yeah. Wait, go back. That should be a 1786. You got 1787.
Oh, that's a 1786.
Yeah, you see I said 1786 in the number, but you got 1787 written?
No.
The word say
Yeah, the word
1787.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, good number. So it should say 6?
Yeah, 1786.
I don't know that. I actually retyped that, so you're not going to check your phone. You know what I mean?
Okay, I will check mine. That might be my mistake. All right, let's keep going down.
Ooh, I'm halfway there. So I feel like I understand that better now. So
Okay.
I'll just keep.
Treaty of 1836, Resolution 75, Journals of the House of Representatives, United States, April 17.
Bring that to the table.
Moorish American Society of Philadelphia and the use of their names, the United Nations, Declaration of the Rights of the Child, General Assembly resolution. Oh. Appreciate you, man. General Assembly resolution 1386. These are all all case laws. The United Nations Universal Declaration on Human Rights, Article 15, General Assembly Resolution 217A of 10.
Where are you?
I'm like,
second paragraph?
I'm still on the first one past the green. I'm about to just go past, because this is just stating everything else on the record. Executive Order 13107, which is the rights of indigenous peoples. United States Republic, North America, the implementation of human rights treaties, the National Constitution for the Continental United States, Article 3, Section 2, diversity of citizenship. Amendment 5, the Liberty Clause, the Freedom Clause. That's what liberty means, freedom. Amendment 9, reservation of the rights of the people. The United States Department of Justice, Moorish Credentials, Free Moorish Zodiac Constitution, Truth A1 classified. Those are our numbers in the Justice Department. The United Nations, the United States Copyright Certificate Number, AA222141, Clock of Destiny. Moorish Nationality and Identification Card, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple Identification Card. Furthermore, I assert my full birthrights, nationality, and substantive rights and claim to hereditatements. Being an autochthon meaning the original inhabitant of a place.
What was that word you said before? Hereditary.
Hereditatements. So that would mean everything due to you coming from your mother.
So this is saying we're pretty much claiming our story. Right? That's pretty much what it's saying. Okay, that's what
But in order to be able to have that right, we got to make sure we acknowledge our own birthright first. So, and that's all it's saying. We're of age to reclaim our estate, because while we were asleep, you've been playing around.
I've read somewhere, I think in here, that you could claim it. You're supposed to claim it at age 18.
No, there's no such thing as that. Whenever age you become competent, you can claim your estate. If a child realizes at 9 and they study and they know who they are and they can handle it, who are you to say they can't handle it if they tell you they can handle it? Hey, I want to start I want to start a business now. No. You should wait till you're 18. What you mean? I got an idea right now, mom and dad, for a business at age 7. What should I do? Wait till you're 18. You can't do that.
Why can't you wait? Why you gotta wait till you're 18?
Because they're telling you they're ready right now. So if you make them wait, you're disabling them.
Why do they gotta wait? That's what my question.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. According to our standards, they don't have to wait. According to other people's standards, you gotta wait till you're 18.
Now this paragraph is already in here. Like Ku Klux Klan charter. Is it in your choice?
What?
The section where it goes to Knights of Columbus, the Ku Klux Klan, the United Nations Charter. We already read that up above. Remember that had it in green?
Oh yes. You did have that in green,
Do I
right?
have that your choice?
No.
This is supposed to be your choice.
Hell no, excuse me. No, I gotta be there twice.
Let me see if I made a mistake.
You don't gotta be there twice.
Come on.
This up here, right here. Right here. See where my cursor is?
Yeah. So if it's there already, then we don't need to have that stuff there. You're right.
Okay. So I don't know if when I was reading it, I was wondering if I needed to.
Scroll back down.
Now where would I take it out at the top or the bottom?
I think you should take out the bottom then, right here.
Let me find it first. There it is. Okay, so take out what? Starting from where to here? Because I'm asserting my birthright. And what was I doing at the top?
It's okay to be a little redundant.
Okay. So I don't want to mess up the flow.
It's not about messing up the flow, but it's kind of like we are stating more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times that we're not Negro, Black, and colored, so we do have to be redundant.
All that Ku Klux Klan stuff, did you explain that? Why that's
So the Civil War that broke out in 1861 when Lincoln went into office.
When who?
1861, when Lincoln went into office.
Okay.
Lincoln, Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, Lincoln. Okay.
And then he signed the United States under general war powers.
Mm-hmm.
That's when martial law kicked in.
Right.
1861. 1854, we were arguing with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so in 1861, we adjourned Sina D, meaning when we had our government set up as indigenous peoples, we abandoned it in 1861. And we said, we don't know when we're going to come back. Because we were having internal issues with each other. So he was like, I no longer want to operate with you. I'm going to go do my own thing. Forget this Congress. And another one, I'm going to do my own thing too. Forget you.
Who said that? The Moorish people?
Us. As each other. In our different tribes. So-called Cherokee, so-called Iroquois, Confederacy. That's why they had some of our tribes who were helping Europeans. And then you had other ones who were fighting. So we were fighting each other on both sides. And the Europeans were in the middle. Now, mind you, we were fighting since 1854. They didn't come till like around 1861 forward. So they were late to the party. So because of that, that's how the United States came into existence, because we abandoned our office. So now they no longer had something to follow because we abandoned it. So now they were forced to create their own based off what they learned from us. Only thing they didn't keep was the matriarchal system.
Do you think that the reason why black people are being treated this way is because of the curse that was placed on Cain for killing his brother Abel, the Cushite?
Yeah, see, because Cain killed Abel. Now let's know which one was the heir. Abel was the heir. Cain wasn't dishonored.
So he killed Abel.
And why did he kill Abel?
Because his birthday?
He killed Abel because he gave a better sacrifice, a better offering to God.
And what was better about Abel's sacrifice to Cain?
Well, Abel gave out of his abundance, and Cain gave out of, he gave the best things, but I don't know, the way the story goes, it sounds like Abel wasn't concerned with
vegetables, and one was.
So Abel gave life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Abel gave life. Cain gave death. God doesn't want that. He wants life.
The dead animal, and one gave fruit and vegetables. I know that.
God wants life and creation, not death. So, jealousy, envious, greed. Why does he look at you better than me? Why does he love you more than me? Why does he love your sacrifices or offerings better than mine? Lower self. It is a curse. Being black is a curse.
Yeah, we have.
That is the curse in itself.
But it's kind of only going to be until a time.
Yeah.
Because I know that, like I said, if I'm at my job or this and that, they are, because I can see they treat us different.
Listen, I heard that there were a curse on African Americans because of
they treat you different than jobs and stuff.
The sons of Noah,
they treat you different than other.
Like Ham, Shem, and Japheth, they said one was white, one was black, one was Chinese, and he was cursed because when his father was drunk, Noah, he looked at him naked, and so they was cursed. And looking at his father, and those were the black people. I don't know all the stories you hear. It may have some truth to it, but trying to explain the reason why we had the hard time.
Yeah, I do believe at some point, somewhere, we strayed away from principle, which is why we ended up in so deep. I believe that.
We started slavery, so
we
showed them how to enslave people. Okay. And then, of course, you have a supreme thing of codes and acts here. These are all study references to read. Sovereignty, Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. These are all things for you to know. And then they list here Supreme Court cases, the right to travel, right to motor conveyance, the use of the highways for the purpose of travel, transportation, the right to park or travel as part of their liberty, the right of a citizen to travel upon the public highways. State police power extends only to immediate threats to public safety, health, welfare. The state is prohibited from violating substantive rights. People of color don't have no substance. artificial, no light, substanceless, and it cannot do by one power. See here, traveling in an automobile on the public roads was not a threat to the public safety. You want to pass it to me?
No, she just bip-bopping everywhere.
It's not a threat to the public safety. This is dealing with just traveling, which is in our treaty. Under the United States Republic's constitutional system of government and upon the individuality and intelligence of the citizen, the state does not claim to control one's conduct to others, leaving one the sole judge on as to all that affects oneself. Let me say that one more time. Under the United States Republic's constitutional system of government and upon the individuality and intelligence of the citizen. This is why we got to be competent. It's based on how intelligent we are. They'll say, "Oh, this person knows what they're doing."
Yeah, but everybody's not
Back
as
off.
intelligent as other people. So what about those that are less
Well,
intelligent?
I think everyone's intelligent. Not everyone knows how to communicate their intelligence.
Okay.
So it's a communication thing.
Well, or that, there's partially a communication issue with intelligence, but then there's also a problem with receiving a variety and differences of intelligence. Because someone could know how to communicate that, but then under the system we have now, like no one's respecting that. You know what I mean? Just because you know how to communicate it. So really, I feel like there hasn't been that space for all styles to really live, of intelligence. But basically, I think the intelligence they're talking about here speaks to the wherewithal of mental ability. If you know that what the truth is, you will live it and you'll be part of the majority. If you don't and you believe the lie, then you will be by default a minor. And I think that's the intelligence that separates all the people. Because I know doctors that they don't know what I know, so they're not more intelligent.
People that might have a mental health
or that
learning disability,
Very true.
and they're in a family, and you want that person to be. Technically they might be functionable, like working and going to school and everything, but they might not have the wherewithal to understand all of this. So what if they get in trouble and have to go to court? How do they explain themselves? Did somebody talk to them?
Well, this is what I'm saying. If they're in trouble and they get into court, if you get into trouble, you did not do something.
Well, if this person got into trouble who was not having it.
All right, so I'll be honest with you. I have a hard time with probabilities or like what ifs. I don't really know how to do like what ifs. Because like what ifs aren't real, so like why are we concerning ourselves with what ifs?
But let's take it there. What if? Let me see. What if somebody?
Some people have disabilities, and they may have to represent themselves.
Right. Well, in a perfect world, and this is how I envision it going forward. Because right now, somebody who doesn't have the mental wherewithal gets in trouble. They better be connected to someone
To a community.
That can advise them. That's the biggest
speak on their behalf,
protection.
Like,
Right.
can you go help people like when they get in trouble?
You know why? Because on oath, I have an obligation to Nationality Republic.
Okay, so if they're not a part of that, what if they are a part of it?
Then I can see. So let me backtrack. What I'm saying is, my oath that I have to my tribe cannot supersede the oath I have to the public. My oath is a private one.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
If somebody in your tribe gets in trouble and they can't rightly represent themselves in court, can you go to court and talk to them?
Yes, which I've done some in the past.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
I've done some in the past where they couldn't speak at all.
Okay.
So I would tell you that the issue with doing that with nationals, like once we become aware and we're not children anymore mentally, the goal is to plant this knowledge and process into other people's minds. Because at real life, you are responsible for yourself. And in a perfect world, let's say a woman has disabled children. If we were not living in the system right now of capitalism, that woman would know how to provide in commerce for her family, and privately her family or her tribe would support her with that issue. If someone has a lower mental wherewithal. However, you still educate those children like you would other children growing in the tribe. As much as they could understand, they would understand. But the problem is that we kind of just sit those ones off into a corner, and then life goes by, and then before you know it, those people are grown, and we realize, oh my gosh, we
should have sheltered them.
Yeah, so ideally, we would treat all children the same, no matter of their ability, and they would be living this, and in a community, they would be seeing this. So there would be no need for someone to grow up and be in trouble. But like you said, the short answer is be connected to someone who can advocate for you.
Have affiliation or attachment to a tribal community.
Yeah.
Because other than that, a U.S. citizen can't represent you, or they can't speak for you.
No, not U.S. citizen.
If they do that, and when I say U.S. citizen, that could be attorney, anyone, or agent of the United States. That automatically puts you in their jurisdiction. So they can't talk about your treaty.
Yeah, and I would even say most of the law that I've learned has been because either someone I loved got into trouble, or because I myself got entangled. So I would tell you, every question that you fathom, that especially I have a heart for children's rights and family advocacy. So I make myself knowledgeable on every law that as a Moorish woman I could impact the lives of U.S. citizens. I mean, if you still want to, because I still care about them. They're not all in the light yet.
Yeah.
So then you just have to decide, like, if you are concerned, like, what happens to an individual who doesn't know, blah, blah, blah. Then as a Moorish woman, we begin to study things that we can impact, so that in the event that happened, you would be the indigenous representative if you decided to create that and then train people under you, right? So that base could be covered. But honestly, if all mothers learned what we are learning, that would be the solution. What's that?
Okay, so these things up to 13 are pretty much...
yeah, they're set in stone. We can move forward. Those are just reference things that you should study. Court case laws.
Go.
I only
had highlighted the stuff that I didn't understand. I didn't know if I should.
Okay, so all this stuff here you do understand.
So if you just want to point out something as I go to the end, you can go ahead and make a point on something that I don't understand.
Stop right there.
Okay. Aria is hot.
Whereas there is no question that a bench appearance summons.
We're trying to read from it.
Oh no! Get her away from there. It's bad for her eyes. It's bad for her eyes.
Well, your baby keeps doing it, and she cries when we move her.
So
I'm at the point where I'm like,
I asked a couple times. I'll take her.
Okay, so
I'm not frustrated. She just got passed around.
No,
I know, but I know what that does to her eyes.
I'm holding her, and then she wanted to get down.
So we put her down. We didn't know she was gonna go back.
The light from a projector can do right.
Yeah, that's definitely hot too. So
it's a hot light.
Yeah, so don't let her. She's trying to stand herself.
Kente, you too. Kente, move. Kente, move.
Over here. Go over here.
Move from the projector, guys, please.
Over there.
It's okay. Be patient. Be patient.
Oh. She's okay, baby.
Don't do that.
Don't run after every time.
She didn't know. Go sit over there with her on the floor. No, we're getting ready to go. My phone is almost dying.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yes, I'm just going to wrap this up. This is important.
In
the light of the foregoing jurisprudence, stare decisis Supreme Court decision, facts and law, and counter to the negative and colorable social conditions instituted by state persons of the Union State Society, there exists a blatant want of jurisdiction on the part of the Union States Rights Republic, its agents, personnel, contractors, and assigns. Axioms are legally enforced under national and international law, attending these issues. And the affiant, the natural person and propria persona, does not waive any rights, does not transfer power of attorney, does not willingly consent to any public trial or hearing in any colorable tribunal, venue, or non-Article 3 unconstitutional jurisdiction. The official oaths, the obligations, and the fiduciary duties of all accusers and bond claimants to national law and order, civilization principles fixed in constitutional law still stands. Definition and truth still rules. Non-compliance is a federal and international law offense. So it's saying is irregardless of the fact, the state is always looking to have jurisdiction over you. That's why it's always presumed. If you don't say anything different, then you give them what they want.
So are you under common law when you become an American national or national?
Yeah, a common law is simply the laws that are common to your culture. That's what common law is. So, like, for Muslim people, when they do their prayers, and they do their rituals, that's their common law.
Well, I mean common law like you shouldn't kill, you shouldn't hurt, you shouldn't steal.
Well, those are the basic laws of all nations, right? In order for us to maintain peace, yeah, I shouldn't kill you, shouldn't rob from you, shouldn't steal, shouldn't lie on you, shouldn't bear false witness. I think it's just a universal way of we're supposed to be treating each other as
so like,
beings.
when people become American nationals, they're just under common law.
That's all it is. It means you're a national, meaning you have your own laws that you are obligated to, that you function with.
This is crazy.
Individually or as a community?
Both. Because if you don't have a community, let's say if I was by myself, if I put something on the record, I'm still held liable to what I put down, whether I'm in a group or individually.
That's what I want to be a part of, like a group or an assembly where people met.
And that's why we treaty, we alliance, we affiliate. Because all that just ties us all together in our different walks of life.
You want me to stop?
Nah, you can keep on going. I think we done covered all the main.
Oh,
Okay, so preservation of the rights.
Yeah, that's being redundant.
I got the name in there. So you only put my current name in there one time? I think maybe twice.
Yeah, one at the top and one at the end, yeah. See, so explicit reservation and use of all rights reserved without prejudice. UCC 1-207, 308. That's just saying all rights reserved. So UCC 1-207, 308 is saying all rights reserved.
Wait a minute. UCC 1. Why is that here? Why is that?
Because, like I said, not the whole thing applies. There are certain things that do. So all rights reserved is codified in UCC 1-207. So whenever you see people saying, they write 1-207, 308, it's equivalent to saying all rights reserved. Because I just write all rights reserved.
Oh, but it has nothing to do with the UCC 1.
No,
okay.
But understand that all the other states in this day and age, they're dealing with UCC. Right. That's why everyone else is trying to get everyone else to be like, come on, get in on the UCC. We're all doing it. And it's like, that's cool, but I don't need to do that.
The other states and people.
Yeah, like I don't need to do that. You do that, but I'm not required to. I can do things another way. That's subject to other laws.
Like in the trust?
Right, because an heir will appear, and he'll have a will. That will make appearance, right?
Oh, what's it?
Okay, keep going. Let's pop that UCC. See, represent means to depict or portray, to symbolize, and to stand for. Let it be known that the Union State Society, Bar Association, lawyers, esquires, and attorneys of European colonial descent, foreign corporation cannot depict, portray, or symbolize an Aboriginal American, as they are not of the same nation state, customs, and national peers, and cannot sit in judgment of any free Moor. Europeans are not original/natural to the land. Moors are aboriginal. Union States lawyers and attorneys operate in B-mode political format. That's what they call it, a democracy. Which is contrary to Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution. It says that every state is a republic.
What does that part mean? Reserve my substantial rights and constitutional secure rights. Compelled benefits, liabilities associated with my compelled benefits, unintentional.
Yeah, so anytime you get into a contract with the United States, you're accepting certain benefits that come along with it. So some people, they say you get a Social Security, the benefits you accept is, okay, I pay my taxes all these years, and at the end I'm going to collect SSI or a pension.
Right.
So that would be the compelled benefits. Now with those benefits, meaning that you're contracting. So when we choose not to contract with the United States, we got to waive all the benefits. That way they don't have no latches or attachments.
So all the years that he worked and I can't get my disability thing.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Actually, you can, and it'll be more than what you'll receive as a Black African American. Fact. Why? Because blacks don't have origins in people.
Huh?
Blacks don't have origins in people.
Origins. And
so they get the
See what I'm saying?
they get the bottom end of everything. The bottom end. Now I'm talking from a sister. She's in the military. She did her update with the Social Security because she's collecting SSI. And when she called me back, she said that she received a considerable increase. And I said, how considerable is considerable? She said about $1,100 to $1,400. Just from changing the ethnicity from
we're gonna
black.
send this to them anyway, so they will automatically make that adjustment.
They have no choice in the matter. You know why? Because every one of these agencies has something called an anti-discrimination clause.
Okay.
They can't discriminate you based on your national origin, but it's up to you to know what that national origin is. And they can't discriminate against you based on your religious creed and culture. Remember, we're talking about trust. So whatever my trust says, that would be my religion. Yeah, compel benefits of any unrevealed or deceptively imposed commercial contracts like the birth certificate.
These are my substantive rights and constitutional secured rights and immunities not to be compelled to perform under any contract or agreement. Okay, not to. So we're choosing that we can or we can't. So.
We can't be forced. Same way we can voluntarily declare our nationality. You can't force me to go back and say, "Oh no, I was just playing. I'm not I'm a U.S. citizen." You can't force me to do that.
Right.
You can't arbitrarily deprive me just because you don't like me or you don't like how I look. Still got to respect me, whether it don't matter about your feelings.
So basically, this is saying that if somebody has maybe like benefits from the state or something, I don't understand, compelled or benefits.
No, pretty much meaning, like I said, whenever you contract with the state, it may come with benefits. For instance, if you do a 501c3, the benefit is you'll get a stipend from the state every month, right, to help you with your funding. Part of the agreement is you can't speak on anything against the United States, as well as some other agreements. So that will be accepting the benefit.
So is that that's looked frowned upon by some people? I understand.
Just depending on how you contract. Well, yeah, it is frowned upon. I wouldn't use it either.
But the 508c1a.
No, the 501c3.
Did you say we have a 501c3?
So we're set up as a religious nonprofit, which is not the same. No, we're not 501c3, but we do have a certificate of nonprofit status.
Yeah, we're a 508c1a. We're a religious corporation.
So that says, what is this referring to then?
Which part?
Compelled benefits.
So the compelled benefits would be the benefits that the so-called United States claims to offer you. Okay. Whether that be SSI or Social Security every month, that's a benefit. Okay. Or let's say if someone represents you in court, the so-called benefit is that you don't have to so-called do all the so-called work.
So right? If I was thinking that once I file this, then they can just cut me off.
No, they can't do that. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Due process is a beautiful thing. Black people aren't afforded due process.
No, that's why we're always worried because they do just cut black people off.
Due process meaning there has to be a process. Like meaning if I make a change, someone can't just go the next day and just cut all my information in the Social Security Administration. If otherwise, if that was the case, then I could sue on behalf of discrimination. Because before I did that, you didn't do no such action. So that slows people down, for one. All right, so they can't discriminate against you based on anything. So even in the system, being yourself, you still have access to all the rights and all the things you would like to contract. You can contract how you please, and they still have to respect your culture and your laws.
They gotta honor it.
They have to honor it. They don't have a choice in the matter. Because the Constitution in itself says that, hey, no religious test is a requirement to hold office, so they can't judge you. Even Obama, right? He took the oath on the Quran. A lot of people didn't like that. What could they do about it though? That's his religion. You can't speak on the matter. That's not a requirement for him to be president, whether he's Islam or Christian. He could have been Buddhist. It doesn't matter. So it's the same thing. The Constitution in itself is a religious document. And okay, and this is right here. This is where you were claiming your estate.
Indian Gale. Okay, chocolate trademark after that too.
Yeah.
Right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what time was it?
Almost 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
I believe so.
Not right away. I mean, we're finishing this because this is the most important. So, ideally, I go home and start. So the other kids should be home from work and dinner. Then Coy and those guys are coming to record. So.
Yeah, no, I just didn't know if it was me or her out here or she's coming.
No, she texted me. No, we're not, because she would have met us, but she didn't hit me up.
Okay.
I don't really know what her questions are, so I'm gonna call her. She texted you to call her. Did you ever talk to her?
TM, this is
I ain't really looking at Texas.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Baby, what are you doing?
Okay, so we're probably towards the end.
Ijamilani, in full life, born of a natural mother, not a decedent, meaning deceased, right? Civil little mortus, born of a natural mother, not civil little mortus, but the infant, grantor, registered owner of the public trust, Vivian Gale, Trademark Incorporated. Jamila.
I was like, you made a whole new name.
I like combined the two. Like
Jumani.
That's pretty though, Jumani.
Yeah.
Combining them.
I know that an official record of authentication concerning my estate is kept in the ordinary course of business under the federal. That part you can take out. So you can start from Jamila.
Take all that name out.
Yeah, highlight all that and go all the way down to 1803-2879-1.
After it or before it?
After it. No, I'm sorry, before it. Yeah, right before the I. Yeah, take all that off. Yeah, just put that space here. Yep, I do solemnly, sincerely. And the reason we gotta take that out is because you haven't gone through the whole authentication process as of yet. Not to say that this will affect anything once you do that, but I already had it done, so I was able to specify exactly what I got. I do solemnly, sincerely, and squarely affirm that the foregoing facts contained in this constructed and actual judicial notice and proclamation by a firm affidavit is true to the best of my knowledge, culture, customs, and beliefs, being actual, correct, not misleading, and being the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Spirit is law, law is nature, nature is family, and family is self-governed. Ooh, who added that at the end? I like that. Who did that?
I did. I put it from the top.
I like that. Family self-governed. That's tough.
I like it.
He said, "Who did that?"
That's
He
tough.
did.
Do y'all remember that you did?
I got spirit is law, law is nature, nature is family, and family is government.
Family is self-governed.
But I like that though. Family is self-governed. That's dope. Okay, you got your information, got your phone number.
Okay, so let's sit down here. So.
All right. I got the place for the notary.
So either a notary or you guys can sign it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We usually sign witness.
Okay. All right, so
You can take the notary part out for her if we're gonna witness it, right?
Yeah. If you want, you can just leave it out. You was ready though. You got the notary or.
I know. I'm like one of
She was ready. She was like, either way, I'm getting this done.
Okay, so I don't know if I let me see if I can print it. My friend really working to me.
He was on camera.
Huh?
You know, when you did that, they could see your face.
Who's talking about this? I know what you're talking about.
He said, "I like you." He went, "I like you." And I was like, you know, they can see you, right?
All right, act like y'all don't know already that I like her. Of course I like her. Duh.
Yeah, I'm just gonna print page 7. Let me see if it prints. If it does, then I'll print. It will do. Randy next week.
Yeah, if you take that out, that shouldn't.
I'm not gonna take it out until I know. I'm gonna do Randy's, and then maybe next week we'll both be done, and then we can file them both at the same time.
Oh, really?
Sweet.
Nice. As long as I know this one's okay.
Yep.
It'll be fine.
So you got your trust ready and everything, too?
No.
One thing at a time. Don't even worry
Oh,
about that.
yeah, I didn't watch your video on Trust It. I saw it just a couple days ago. I was like, oh.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna give you a secret to my videos. I say the same thing in every video. It ain't nothing different. I'm saying the same thing in different ways.
It tells you how to do it, though. That's what it said on one. It tells you the one that says how to create a trust.
Oh, how to create a foreign trust?
Yeah, I'm missing out.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet. I haven't looked at it yet. I was saving it so after I get this done. One thing at a time, because my daughter, she does trust and all. She goes like, let me see it before you finish.
Oh, that's right.
That's fabulous.
So I sent her the redemption manual because when I was there, her and her husband were heckling me, and I was trying to explain. And the reason why I couldn't explain it thoroughly is because it's so much information. I didn't really know where to start, so I sent her that. So at least she could get an idea of what I'm talking about. So I said, well, let me just let her see if she reads it, period. And then when she gets to the part where she says, hey, Mom, have you done this yet? And so I can say, okay, stop right there because I just wanted you to get the information, but this is what I did instead. Or, yeah, I did. Whichever way I chose to do it. I see. Okay, so are we turning off the recording and talk about what we're going to do?
Yeah, the event. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Hey, fam. Thank y'all for hanging out, man.
Man.
Another Bill session.